What if they're in a landfill somewhere? And we'll never know. We'll never know. And we don't know who we have in their urn.
We told this story and you responded. Hundreds, if not thousands of you called, emailed, or left messages on our social media posts concerned about whether your pets were a part of this. We hear your fears, we understand your outrage, and we feel your heartbreak. We've been overwhelmed with your feedback, and we know that you still have a lot of questions, and we want you to know we're not done. We're not done telling this story, your story.
It really has become your story because so many of you have been calling and emailing and sharing your story of letting your pet go.
Yeah, Megan Schiller has been working tirelessly on this story, but KDKA Investigates is a team, and the story's not over.
That's right. Investigative producer Tori Wigurski worked together with Megan Schiller, uncovering new details with every turn. She joins us now. And Tori, as an investigative producer, you get the feel for when something has enough reach to be a story. But has this one surprised you?
It has surprised me, and it's also kind of devastated me because of the reach of it.
Right.
Because going through the files that I received from our whistleblower, I knew that there were going to be hundreds of victims based just on the records that I had. But when we saw the police report and we heard from the Attorney General's office that they believed that there were 6,500 victims, if not more, it broke my heart that I knew that so many people were going to have to grieve all over again for having already lost their pet, having lost a loved one, and then knowing that allegedly this man desecrated the
remains.
Yeah, it's devastating to know how many people this affects.
It's heartbreaking, and because of the calls, and they just keep coming in.
They do, yes.
Where has this taken you in your research?
It has taken us to so many more stories, to hearing more from people about the pets that they lost, about the impact that this has had on their families, about some people telling us that they had to call their kids who were away at college, who, this was their childhood dog who'd been put down, and they had to call them and tell them this has happened. This has taken us to people also coming together as a community and finding a way to grieve together, which I think has been maybe the next step in healing for them.
Well, and I think even for people who were not affected directly by this, it resonates with them because so many people have lost a pet to begin with and have dealt with this. And I just want to say, from a very human aspect of this, I watched you come back into the newsroom after a couple of these sessions and finding out information, and I did see the devastation on your face. And I could feel it coming from you. I knew that this had a lot of power behind it, that it was impacting a lot of people in a very raw way.
I have 4 cats. I am a crazy cat lady, and they're my babies. I love them, and to put myself in the position of how I would feel if I were impacted like this. As journalists, we have empathy, and this one just really hit in a lot of places that I think our viewers understand the loss, the people experiencing it. It's extremely affecting.
Yeah.
And this story broke earlier this week, but where does it stand right now and with the Attorney General's office?
So the Attorney General's office is collecting information from affected victims and people who are wondering if they might be victims. They've set up a website. You can go, you can enter your information into a form. You can search for your vet if they're one of the vets that was contracting with this funeral homeowner. You can search for your own name. They will get back to you with information about whether or not you were someone who was affected. And so people can either get that peace of mind or learn if they were a victim and then proceed with giving a victim impact statement. We're going to be following this case as it goes through the courts, but there's a lot more to do, even if it's beyond the court case. There's a funeral board of directors that oversaw the licensing of this that we're going to look into. I know that my whistleblower had made complaints to other regulatory authorities. Where did those complaints go? Were they falling on deaf ears? There's a lot more to do on this case.
Right, so we are going to be hearing more about this on KDKA. And as we just heard from Megan Schiller at the start of this, you're looking to talk with more people.
Oh yes, we want to hear from people. We want to hear your stories. Those emails, those phone calls, the submissions we are doing on social media, we want to know who's being affected by this, and tell us about the pet that you lost.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Tori, and thank you for bringing light to all of this. Yes.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of hard work that went into uncovering this, and stay up to date on this. Thank you so much, Tori.
Thank you.
Right. Like we said, the story isn't over. Keep watching KDKA TV News in the coming days to keep up with this ongoing story.